Right, so LMG builds, I would argue, are solo only because suppressed gets really annoying. And I'm aware there's probably a hell of a lot of these going around, but I just wanted to share my lovely little take on LMG builds with you, simply because Pestilence is just stupid, and then if you add in another certain exotic, it becomes even more stupid. And yeah, the end result is what can only be described as take my plague, take it. There are a fair few builds of this, ones where they are just absolute crit monsters and hit really hard, and others where it's just stacking on the Plague of the Outcasts debuff. However, mine is a weird mix of the two. You do about 300 to 500,000 damage a shot depending on the range, and you can stack the Pestilence debuff up to about 1.2 million. There are builds where the Pestilence can hit for like 600,000 plus, but the Pestilence debuff isn't that great. And then there are builds where the Pestilence debuff will hit for like 2.3 mil. So what I'm just going to show here is just how high we can stack the Pestilence debuff. Now, I am working on a different backpack for this because I am utilising Unstoppable Force, which is actually pretty easy to keep up with the Pestilence, particularly the way how if you spread the debuff enough. So as you can see here already, got maxed out Unstoppable Force and Obliterate, and we're just going to start slamming into named elites, and we're hitting about 1 mil a proc on the Pestilence debuff, which does some pretty lovely work. It's not that great against armor, but it does work very well against health, and is just generally quite handy as it spreads around. Overall, this build is actually pretty useful. I actually run this in Legendary, and it's probably the furthest I've ever gotten in a solo Legendary running this build. I suck at solo Legendary, by the way. I'm not going to sit there and tell anyone that, oh yeah, these builds are awesome for solo Legendary, because I've copied other builds of people claiming that, and either I'm absolutely terrible or the builds just don't work. So I'm going to go with I'm absolutely terrible, so I'm not going to tell anyone that their builds don't work. So as you can see here, we are running Walker and Harris, Mask, weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, 3-piece Providence defense for headshot damage, crit chance, crit damage in case we do get those juicy headshots. We're using crit chance, crit damage all over the place, with Obliterate on the chest and Unstoppable Force on the backpack. If you can get Vigilance, go for it. However, although that would be a better, more worthwhile buff, Unstoppable Force is quite easy to keep up with Pestilence. Contractor's Gloves, LMG damage obviously, and damage to armor, but the main thing here is Sawyer's knees. They're not maxed out, I do apologise, but as long as you're not moving, that's a 30% increase in damage, which is how the Pestilence debuff basically stacks and scales. You can use the Hollow Man if you have it. Now is a good time with the Golden Bullet event. I actually got myself a second one. Go me. Got my first one from the Dark Zone, somehow made it out alive. But yes, Pestilence hitting an enemy causes it to take a Plague of the Outcast, which does 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds, and it stacks up to 50 times. Was it 500? Can't remember. Pick one. But yeah, that, with the right build, potentially makes this the most powerful LMG in the game. For a backup, I am using the Carbine 7 because just that weapon is lovely. And I also got an Orbit with, yeah, perfect finisher. Anyway, have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.